Hi people, welcome back. In today's video we will look at the simple installation process of Anypoint Studio and the other steps involved to get our mule ready. Along with Studio, you need Jdk 8, Maven 3.6.3 and the different system proxies and the variables which needs to be set right. First, download your Anypoint Studio bundle from your Anypoint account, Anypoint platform account. Now the bundle you download can be free standard edition or the enterprise edition. The enterprise edition gets you the higher privileges which you might need. One of such is TPS, which is used in Object Store v2. I already have downloaded my bundle. It's Anypoint Studio 7.5.1. Exporting this zip can be tricky since there are few files in this package whose file name lengths are far by exceeded. So please don't directly export this file. If you have 7-zip or WinZip softwares, go ahead and export. Else, move this file to a newly created folder, temp, in C, user, machine name. Once successfully done, this is how your file structure is gonna look. It has few folders along with the most important studio.exe and the Anypoint studio.ini file. Let's open this ini file for a minute. This is literally the file where you can pass environmental and application arguments with a tag -d. You also need to include the java.w.exe or the binary path after the tag vm. If you observe, we also have the tags xms, xmx. Each of them has their own sizes. XMX by default it uses 512 megabytes and XMX by default uses 1024 megabytes. These are the Java heap size, initial and maximum arguments your studio is going to use throughout the time it is opened. You can change these values and can be especially useful if your applications are failing due to lack of heap space for the processes which you are using. Now before we click and start the studio, we need to set few things right. The installation of Jdk and Maven latest versions. I already did the Java installation. Maven is yet to be done. To install Maven, go to the Google Apache Maven 3.6.3 bin.zip file. Download it and extract it. Now this directory path needs to be added to your environmental variable and system variables. Go to Computer, Properties, Advanced, click on New and add Maven Home. Paste the home directory of the Maven extract. Now edit the path variable. Here you see I already added my Java bin path. Same needs to be done for Maven bin. Paste. So we have successfully added Java home, Maven home and the path variables. Open command prompt and type java space version. This is going to show you whether your Java has been installed properly. For Maven, type mvn. Now this has been properly installed as well. If it's not added, you would get an error, not recognized. Wonderful. We completed the basic steps to start the studio. Open the studio.exe and this would successfully throw you a pop-up to add your workspace folder. If anything goes wrong, you possibly did something wrong with your studio bundle extract or the Java installation. Sometimes even if your Jdk is installed right, Studio might not be able to recognize it. So add the Java library path in the file I showed you before, which is the ini file. It must work. Once you open Studio, it takes some time to initialize your runtime and load the basic modules. On the left is the package explorer and on the right you find the connectors and the modules. Do not think it is done yet. Go to Windows, Preferences and type net. If you have any proxies enabled, you must configure it here as well. This is essential to connect Studio to the internet. Next, type console and uncheck this box. This will be later useful when you're doing your deployments. Next, go and type Maven. If you observe, Mule Studio has by default Maven embedded in it. We can still change it to the Maven directory we have personally created. Just uncheck this box and add the settings.xml file taken from the config folder and validate and check. Maven is added properly. Once this is done, let's go to run configurations. These are the configurations which you can pass for each of your Studio Mule apps. First, create a new configuration. As you can see, you can have n number of configurations, and under each configuration you can have more than one Mule app. Here we have different options. Under the arguments, you have program arguments and VM arguments. The values you can pass to these arguments can be anything and can depend upon your use case. Generally, we throw in environmental keys, crypto keys, listener ports, etc. Same as arguments, you can pass environmental variables. In the General tab, you will see all the list of Mule apps you have for this specific configurations. You can choose to launch any app of your choice. Along with this, in the bottom, you can see MVN clean package tag D skip mule test. This lets you skip your Ammunit test while your app deployments. Similar to mule configs, we can have Ammunit configs. Here you can specify which project Ammunit tests you would like to run, which tests or suits to consider for your runs, etc. It also lets you to choose if you want to have coverage reports. You indeed can pass environmental variables which you need for your test. Let's create a Mule project. Go to New, and these are the complete set of options. Now you have so many options to choose, but select Mule project. I will name it first project. For each Mule app, you can choose your runtime servers. It can be Mule 4.3.0, 4.2, etc. Install runtimes as per your requirement. Now for the basic design of project, we'll look at YAML files taken from local machine, imports from design center, import a published API from Exchange, etc. Finally, choose where you want to put your project location and click Finish. Once finished, your first project will display a grand development template. In the middle, you have the canvas, and on your right is a Mule palette. Under core modules, you have various basic and essential features like components, scopes, transformers, etc. On your extreme left is the package explorer, which has the pom.xml file. It has folders like src main resources, src test resources, where you can include your .property files and various other files which your app need. You also have your main development XML file named as firstproject.xml. Once this is done, go to Windows Preferences, API Manager. Pass your client ID and client secret and validate to enable features like auto discovery. For this to work, you need to add your platform account to Authentication tab. Once you click on Add, this will throw you a pop-up asking for username and password. If you have your internet connected, then you can get this done. Most clients will have their own separate external identity for their platform accounts. To use your client account, click Configure, External Identity, and add your organizational domain. and press enter. With this, the page will redirect to the appropriate site asking for login credentials. Once this is done, you are ready to pull or push your code to your account. Now if you open your XML files, each file has its own global elements for passing global configurations. Configuration XML to edit your inline XML code. Message flow to edit and work in style. Here you have options to connect with Exchange. Now if you want to import a mule project which has already been developed, you can import them. It can be a file system or a packaged jar. You can wish to copy this project as a replica in your workspace so that your original file is safe and backed up. To export your mule project, right click on project and export. Always export your mule projects as mule deployable archives. This is a jar file. Now it's your wish to keep your jar to be lightweight or not. Include as you wish. Note: if you don't include modules and dependencies, you cannot deploy this app to CloudHub. So caution advised. Normally this is your mule project structure lying in your workspace. It has a target with specific folder structure. But when you go to your exported jar and try to turn this to a zip file using command line, you will see altogether a different project structure. Basically, this kind of structure works for deployments in CloudHub as well as importation into Studio. But the jar files which you take from your target folder, once you do a successful deployment in Studio, cannot be used for reworks or importation. It just can be used for your deployments into CloudHub. Same as how you can do few things on the top of your Studio item bar. You can use individual run configurations and Ammunit tests for each app. Add Maven dependencies under Mule. Manage APIs and modules. Change YAML versions under Manage dependencies. Import, publish, directly deploy to CloudHub. Configure account credentials for your Anypoint platform. I forgot to show you before how you can add your environmental variables like Maven home or Java home or path variables directly from your command line. You can set these values as permanent values using the following command and further check if the same value is showing in your environmental variables using your UI. Hope you like this video. Thank you all once again, and bye.